Hi everyone, I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of August 18th. August 19th brings the Aquarius full moon. There is a lot of sort of changing, unsettling, rattling, shaking energy around this full moon. Maybe you've already been feeling it. Maybe you have felt the winds of change move in. Maybe you've been dealing with a difficult situation that has turned your life upside down. Maybe something is yet to come that will turn things upside down and have you confused. Maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed and you have many balls that you're juggling and you're not exactly sure where they're all going to land. This is very much the energetic signature of this full moon. And even though it doesn't sound that great, we have to keep in mind that all of this changing, all of this shaking, all of this life being turned upside down energy is getting us to awaken. The reason for this shaking and this unsettling energy is due to the planet Uranus, which is very, very active under this Aquarius full moon. And when we have a strong Uranus, we do tend to get sudden change, unexpected events. Things feel a little bit unsettled. We can feel all over the place, a little scattered, a little unsure. We can feel a little bit like our life has been turned upside down or we're juggling a lot of things. But Uranus does that shaking in order to awaken us. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of the mind. So Uranus is the planet of the higher mind. So whatever shaking, whatever unsettling energy is flowing around you right now, it's to get you to awaken to your higher mind, to a new perspective, to see things from a new vantage point. If you have been struggling with something, this full moon can be your reminder that the current frame that you're looking at things is not broad enough. It's not higher mind enough. Maybe we need to stop looking at things through this lens and expand our vision a little bit. And sometimes the only way to do that is to step back, to surrender, to join the flow. It's not really about giving up. It's kind of like joining the flow of the current season of our lives and trying to step back so we can see things from a new vantage point. Sometimes when we sleep on things, we have a different perspective in the morning. That kind of energy. We're really being guided and encouraged to do that under this full moon. Step back, join the flow, and then try to see things from a different perspective. Try to work from our higher mind and see if we can have some sort of awakening with the situation that's around us. When Uranus and the moon are very, very strong, sometimes we can get sudden, unexpected events happening. Sometimes we can also get earthquake activity or that, literal shaking of the world. Other times things that are weak in our lives can kind of be exposed. Again, whatever's not going to handle that shaking may come up to the surface to be dealt with. And then on a global level, sometimes we can also feel a greater sense of unease and tension. So yes, there is a little bit of this difficult energy to work with under the full moon, but just coming back to this idea of awakening. All that is shaking in my life is so I can awaken to a higher perspective. That is really the gift with Uranus energy. And then the other gift is learning that we are not always the ones in control. And sometimes we have to release control and join the flow in order to regain our power and regain our feelings of confidence and certainty. So all things to work with under this a little bit challenging full moon. This is also the last full moon before eclipse season begins. The next full moon we have will be an eclipse. So we're really entering that doorway after this full moon into eclipse season. Eclipse season is always a highly transformative time. So it's likely whatever's being stirred around this full moon, whatever changes, whatever things are coming up for us under this full moon are really just preparing us and getting us ready for that transformation that will happen during eclipse season. So a lot of big, bold energies, but just coming back to releasing control, surrendering, letting go, joining the flow, and trying to look at things from a higher mind perspective. They're going to be our tools that we can lean on under this full moon. And then on the 22nd, 23rd, that will depend a little bit on your time zone. We have the sun moving from Leo into Virgo, out of fiery Leo into earthy Virgo. If we think of this from a seasonal perspective, and I'm sorry to the people in the southern hemisphere, I'm going to give you a northern hemisphere reference. If we imagine that under the Leo sun, we've been playing, it's been warm and sunny and beautiful, and we've been enjoying the warm weather. When we get into Virgo season, it's sort of like, oh, it's time to start preparing for the colder months ahead. Playtime is over. We have to now start prepping and preparing and making sure that we have enough resources to get us through the winter. So that's the little energy shift. Moving from that playful, fiery, I'm in my passions, I'm in my joy, I'm in my sort of confident Leo energy, to now moving to a little bit more of practicality. How can I sort of prepare? How can I get ready? And we can kind of take that on a more modern level, because I don't know that many of us, well, maybe some of you are in that situation where you need to start preparing for the colder months. But I think on a more sort of global level, we can sort of take that to be, this is the time to get settled, to get a little bit more established, to create some structure. We have all that flowy, wavy energy coming in. We know eclipse season is coming. What can we do to create a sense of grounded security and structure? We may not be able to create security and structure in every area of our lives, but likely there is a couple that we have control over. Virgo season is also a really good time to take care of our health. If we think of Virgo, it is the virgin goddess, and virgin, the meaning of virgin is different. Back then when Virgo was named, virgin meant one who was complete in itself. So she was an oracle. She knew that God was within. She knew that she had the resources and the well of wisdom inside of her to navigate life. She didn't need external sources to help. So that is what we can also channel during Virgo season, really connecting in with our inner strength, our inner being, and knowing that we have our own well of wisdom that can guide us. We have our own inner God that can guide us. And that's really something we can lean on as we get into Virgo season. So also, actually, before I wrap it up and finish there, as the sun moves from Leo into Virgo, it aligns with one of the four royal stars, Regulus, the crown or the star of the lion, the crown of the lion, the star of the lion. It is a beautiful energy when the sun and Regulus come together. This will happen on the 22nd, 23rd, as the sun makes that move into Virgo. Regulus rules over our higher chakras, our crown chakra, and the little chakras that live above our head as well. It is a beautiful, powerful energy that can really help us to activate, again, our higher minds, activate our connection with the cosmic skies, to know that we are part of the bigger picture, to know that we are all connected. It really is a beautiful energy. If you want to learn more about Regulus and how you can connect with this very powerful stargate, I have an article up on Forever Conscious. I'll drop a link in the description box below. Also, on that note, if you would like to do a ritual for this Aquarius full moon, I have a chakra clearing ritual which was designed for this full moon. And it's also perfect to do under the Regulus gateway as well. So I'll pop a link in the description box for that as well. And your horoscopes for Virgo season are also up. I've teamed up with a fantastic astrologer, Narayana, and she's been writing the horoscopes. So check that out. And she also does readings and Akashic readings. And it's my husband's birthday coming up, and I gifted him an astrocartography reading with her, and he loved it. So check her out if you're looking for that. So astrocartography, for those of you who are not sure, but you can find different locations in the world that are better suited to your astrology. It's very fascinating. I'm definitely not an expert on it, so I was happy to have Narayana do it for him. So on that, I'm going to now pull a card from my deck, the Cosmic Astrology Oracle. I'm going to be doing some traveling, so if you put in an order for the deck now, it's not going to be shipped until the end of the month because I will not be around to ship them. But there are plenty still. I do have them. There's a little delay on shipping because I will be out of town. Okay. So I'm just going to shuffle the card. We've sort of spoken this week about this full moon, which does offer some unsettling, moving, shaking energy, but it's getting us to look at things from a more awakened perspective. We have this energy shift of Leo to Virgo. Let's see what card is going to come up to guide us all through this transitional week. Ooh, Mercury. Okay, I love this. We know that Mercury is still in retrograde at the moment. And I think I said this, Uranus, which is very active under the full moon, is the lower octave of Uranus. So there's the card. And I'm going to read just a little bit about what it says. And it says there, the messenger. Mercury is the planet that rules over our minds, thought processes, and the way we communicate. In mythology, Mercury is known as the messenger of the gods, but in this case, we can think of Mercury as the messenger of our highest self or our own inner god. Again, kind of tying into that Virgo energy that we're getting, connecting with our own inner god. You have drawn the Mercury card into your life as a sign to check in with your thoughts. Are they cluttered? Are you repeating the same story over and over? Oh gosh, this card is for me. Are your thoughts truly serving you? Energy flows where attention goes, which means that whatever you are mentally focusing on is what you tend to notice in your external reality. See if you can do a thought inventory. You don't have to believe every thought you think. You can also challenge thoughts to see if they open you to new ideas. This again kind of comes back to that idea of Uranus wanting us to see things from a higher mind, moving out of that frame that we've been stuck in, and trying to see things from a broader and more open perspective. This really resonates for me right now. And I had this thought and it came from Wayne Dyer, and I'll offer it to you because it really helped kind of calm me when I remembered it. I remember Wayne Dyer's quote, "It's better to be kind than to be right." So maybe you're dealing with a situation and you know you're right. You know that what you're saying and doing and everything is right. But sometimes, not always, sometimes it's better to be kind than to be right. And having that perspective shift can also help us move out of our limited awareness and how we're looking at things and see things from a bigger perspective. Journaling, meditation, or talking things through with a friend or therapist are also great ways to clear your mind. Once you have done an inventory of your thoughts, you may also find it easier to communicate with others and the world around you. Mercury is currently in retrograde at the moment, so we are in our inner world more than our external world. So this is time for very internal work. Mercury, as the messenger of the gods, when in retrograde, is traveling through the underworld, our subconscious, and weeding out stuff from our subconscious so we can clear it, so we can understand what's motivating us and how we're operating. So this is not really a time for external communication, although talking things through with a friend or therapist is always helpful. But this is really where we can lean in to our inner voice, our inner world, our inner God. And journaling is a great way to do that. So there are some little, dot points that come with this card, and I'm going to read a couple because I think they're sort of relevant. A subconscious thought pattern may be blocking you. Clear your mind so you can hear your intuition. Challenge yourself to change the way you think. Maybe this is the theme of our weekly video because that's come up a lot. Write or share your story with others. Use your communicative talents. Communicate clearly how you feel. So again, I think this is we're being called to kind of go within first and then express out. But see how this lands for you. Maybe it lands in a different way for you. Maybe you've picked up a different message or heard something that you need to hear from this card. So it's interesting. It's a very mercurial week with Mercury being our card, and then Mercury being in retrograde in our cosmic skies, and then the addition of Uranus, which is the higher octave of Mercury, activating and trying to awaken our higher minds, even though we might resist some of the shaking and unsettling energy. So that is your forecast for the week ahead. You can again find more on all of this over at foreverconscious.com. You will look after yourselves. I'll see you on the other side of all this energy. When we meet again next, we will be getting ready, gearing up for eclipse season. So exciting. There are exciting months ahead. The universe has always got our back and never gives us any more than we can handle. I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com. Thank you so much.